AskReddit by Mindless Service 8198. What is the biggest problem with modern dating? People being so used to instant gratification. 1 PM Hey. 1:35 PM Fine, don't answer me, you're ugly anyway. A lot of people are so afraid of commitment and putting in mutual effort that they would rather be in a situationship than an actual healthy adult relationship. I hate this so much. How can you go from sleeping me and doing all this cute couple shit and saying all these cute things, to one day saying I'm not ready for a relationship? You act one way, but say another. It's very confusing and makes me question everything. Ugh. The people expect perfection rather than learn to make it work. I've been seeing a therapist and she told me not to look for the perfect person but to find the person who isn't perfect that wants to make it perfect. Makes sense to me. The most common enabler, dating apps, are designed to harvest us for profit over fostering genuine connections. This is it. I fucking hate the apps. But it's become the main way to meet other singles, especially as you get older. The apps show you a bunch of options, but you can't look through all of them at once. You're forced to evaluate each one at a time. And you can't control which ones they show you. All the apps are designed to keep you on them for as long as possible, and paying for the features that make them barely usable. But none of them give you enough searchability or information to actually find what you're looking for, and none of them are designed to actually help you find love. Delusional expectations. Along with overly inflated self-assessment and catfishing. There are no more really cool hangout places anymore. Most of it's done online. You don't really have that meetup place like you could back in the day. Everything's also so expensive now too. Without meetup places it's hard to even make friends. Remember back in high school or college when you could develop a crush on someone in your friend group or who did similar activities? There's no opportunities to develop crushes anymore. Nowadays every time you try to date, you have to approach every single person with the intent that you're interested romantically, which makes it hard to genuinely get to know them. It's so digitized. Fake, incredibly nearby, and yet far away. Older generations don't know how good they had it. Deleted. I have an idea. Let's crash funerals. No one wants to invest anything anymore because everyone thinks there are better options out there. So if you are not an immediately perfect match, you're out instantly. People refuse to work on relationships because it should be easy if it fits. It's all air castles. Then when the better option doesn't work out, they try coming back. Lack of emotional connection. I rarely see anyone opening up to one another or doing something genuinely romantic for their partners. It's a bit depressing. I feel like I'm always the one who opens up fast, but at the same time I'm glad I do. For example, if someone doesn't want to date me because of my sexual trauma, then I know that from the beginning and I don't have to waste my time. Nobody goes out and does anything anymore. You used to be able to go to events and meet people and connect and socialize. There are still events, but it's not like it used to be. It's harder to socialize and meet new people when everyone just stays inside on Discord and plays games. Female here. Even when I'm out, no one ever approaches. Like someone said, I think in this society people are afraid of what's appropriate or if it's okay, so they don't at all. Situationships. What is situationship? Note, I'm old and have been in a relationship for a while, so I'm not privy to these things. Thank you. Having an online presence. So many dates think it's weird if you're not posting on Insta, etc. I just don't want to. Honestly, this would be a plus for me. You're judged only by your photo and not what kind of person you are. Photo plus facade. too much crap from movies, people are divorced from reality. I, sometimes, find myself being overly judgmental of real people because of the fake standards movies such as rom-coms or even romance books have put in my head. There needs to be a study on this. Edit, spelling. People are too afraid to commit, or don't know how to, or are too self-serving to genuinely do so. Every interaction leading up to the actual in-person date has been monetized by corporate America. Online dating, yes, everything is paid. The algorithms are tuned in a very specific way to not give you the perfect match, only bad and okay matches to keep you there and make you pay for better opportunities. At some point you may get lucky and the algorithm gives you the perfect person, but that was a failure that will be anyway monetized by marketing to show that online dating actually works. Either offline dating will come back or someone will come up with a solution in which they actually make money if you find the true love. Not easy. Unnecessarily high expectations and inability to accept another person's flaws. It's completely impersonal. We are all using the most impersonal method possible in an effort to create the personal connection of our lives. Dating has become this overly complicated, overly intellectualized topic that loses meaning when analyzed too much. People seem to talk about it more than actually engaging in it. And a lot of buzzwords dominating the topic on social media: toxic, red flags, and the fact that social media pits the sexes against each other make it all sound too negative to bother with. It's easy to read about other people's negative experiences and opinions that can influence one's attitude towards meeting people and being romantically minded. When I, 35M, was in high school, dating was a relatively simple concept, but as a teacher I hear students discuss dating as if it's an insurmountable task and not something simply to be excited about. People romanticizing the idea of companionship but having commitment issues that prevent any relationship from going anywhere. Bottom line, you'll need therapy. Who can afford therapy? Dating apps and their complete shift of average from a 5/10 to an 8/10, and seeing anyone with human flaws and limitations as subpar and undesirable. The moment something is somewhat wrong with people regardless of gender, you're thrown off to the sides. Slightly chubby? Somewhat antisocial? Not interested in XYZ? Well, off to the sidelines you go. The fact that most people here describe some kind of online exchange, apps, texts, describes it perfectly. BTW, if you're an adult looking for opportunities to meet people in real life, look for beginner-friendly organizations of hobbies that you might like, and that are somewhat gender neutral or would attract mostly the gender you wanna date. You won't meet a lot of women at car racing things, and not a lot of men in ballet for adult beginners. I suggest you look for a choir, maybe take 1-15 hours of singing lessons before. Also, don't just be yourself, be your best self. Get a haircut, trim your beard, find fashion that suits you, smile from your heart a lot, be interested in others. Do interesting things yourself: hiking, reading, music, calligraphy, painting, sports. Fill your life with things you like, and your life will look cool to people with similar interests. Social media has made both women and men have incredibly high standards that average people can't obtain. Many people now have a long list of prerequisites that you have to have if you wish to date someone, though I've mainly seen it with gals. I know guys are this way too, because I've heard my friends talk about it. Everyone has the idea that they're gonna date the top 1% of their chosen group of partners, but it's just not true. Many women want 6 figures, many men want women that look like models. I blame this idea on social media and dating apps, because it's made people use filters, and made women use more makeup, so nobody looks real anymore. And hell, if you're average, or below average, you're usually not messaged on dating apps, and rejected when you ask women out. The list is right on their dating profile. If you don't check off all the boxes, swipe left. From my experience, too many men just wanting a lay and too many women wanting only the best a man can offer. It's soul destroying. Even as a man who does want a serious relationship, you don't have a chance because women have at least a few dozen other options available. There are so many aspects you have to be the best in to even get a reply back. You have to impress with your picture, you have to impress with your text, nothing in your profile is allowed to see mod. You have to see each other's profiles. You have to write a good message, and only if you are at the top 5% at all of these aspects, you started a conversation, not even mentioning a date.